If you want 2023 and beyond to be radically different from the years before, this video is for you. I'm gonna give you a full framework that you can use to totally reinvent who you are, what you do, and more importantly, why you do it. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Leon, CEO and founder of Selfmastered, a peak performance training company that transforms entrepreneurs into elite performers that can achieve in one day what they previously achieved in 1 week. I've coached and trained hundreds of entrepreneurs and invested in 37 of them. Today I want to talk about how we should be reinventing ourselves as often as possible. Ideally, at least once a year, if we truly want to fulfill our potential. And I've realized over the years that those that have frequent personal reflection on who they are, on why they do what they do, on what they like, who they like to be with, end up getting much better results and much better life satisfaction over the years. So personal reinvention, I think it is something we all have to do as often as possible. I try to do it, again, ideally at least once a year, and normally comes in these dates. After Christmas and before the new year is a perfect week that you can use to make this reflection. Now, the following protocol is something that we teach our clients. It is very simple, but it can truly be life-changing. So pay attention and jot down each step that we are going to share. So step one, and this is probably the most difficult thing to do and what truly sets the stage for the quality of the reflection that you will do. And it's unplug from the matrix. Get out of your current environment. Ideally go in nature, find a cabin in the woods, move to a different country for a few days. Change your environment because your environment is keeping you trapped in the same mental patterns that most probably led to some of the mistakes that you want to review and learn from. So change your environment. Ideally, do not connect to the matrix. Do not take your phone with you. Do not access the internet, and just go for a weekend to a cabin in the woods. So that's step number one. Step number two is take inventory of everything that happened the year before, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And not only look at the what, so what happened, but try to find the underlying reasons. Why did that thing happen? And what were the mechanisms that were conducive to the results you eventually got? Again, and do that for both the good and the bad. So if you made a costly business mistake, rethink about why did that end up happening? What was the series of events that led to that bad outcome? And try to understand and take yourself back to the thought process that you were following when that thing didn't work the way you wanted it to work. The more granular you can get into this analysis, the easier it's going to be for you to spot your own mental patterns, to understand what is your subconscious belief system that is powering that faulty decision making in specifically that context. So what did you believe that wasn't so? What did you believe to be true that just wasn't true at all? What thought did you had at that time that motivating a behavior that ended up not being ideal in that situation, right? The more granular you can go, the better. So 3, set a new direction for your life. Right? And here I wanted to be as ambitious as possible because we're going to be adopting a time frame, which is a decade, 10 years, that is enough time for you to achieve a total, complete reinvention. And if you don't believe me, think about where were you 10 years ago? Probably not the same person, right? Hopefully not the same person. A lot of change happened in the past decade. But chances are that you feel compelled to recreate yourself. Most of those changes were not ideal, were not chosen by you. You're not happy with that outcome, right? So this exercise will help you create a 10-year goal that you can consciously design. And because you are going to design it, you're going to make it as sexy as you can, as interesting, as ambitious. Design the life as you want it to unfold, with the business you want to create, the family you want to have, the people you want to hang out with, the country you want to live in. Make the decision to make it work in your favor. And it all starts by designing that 10-year goal. Make it so attractive that you get pulled towards it. You don't need to push yourself, right? That's step 3. 4, assess the gap. right? So if you have done step number 3 to its full potential, you have created a picture that is wildly ambitious, that you're truly excited about. You've set the intention to achieve something meaningful, something big, something that gets you out of your current comfort zone. Now, step 4 is assessing the gap. What's missing in your current self that you need if you are to fulfill that vision, right? What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities? What things do you need to learn? Who do you need to connect with? What do you need to do in order to get closer to that goal? What are you now, your personality, your character that needs to evolve in order to get to that 10-year goal, right? And this step is very important because the next step, number 5, is based on step number 4. Step number 5 is about creating a 90-day goal that takes you closer to that 10-year goal, right? 5-year, 3-year, and 1-year plan are not useful because they're too far away, but 90-day plan most certainly are. So once you know what it is that you're trying to achieve in the long term, and you also have a clear idea of what do you need to be working on right now in order to get closer to that goal, it's all about systematizing and creating goals and systems and milestones that you will follow for 90 days to get to that 10-year goal. Then step number 6 is start executing with total focus, commitment, and intention. So do not get distracted. Do not try to do too many things. Do not try to follow too many priorities. Do not do activities or meet with people or start businesses or do whatever that is not aligned with that 10-year goal. Right? Intention, commitment, and focus at least during 90 days and see what happens. And then the final step, and to me this is probably one of the most important, is get feedback daily on your performance. Understand what happened, how close you are to fulfilling that 90-day goal. If you do this often, at least once a year, at least that's how I like to do it, you will achieve in 3 months what other people achieve in 1 year, if not more, because you are being intentional about what it is that you're trying to achieve, because you are consciously designing your life in a way that is conducive to elite performance, right? So first, unplug from the matrix. 2, review everything that happened, the good and the bad, and look at the underlying causes. Look for the root causes. Do not stop at the symptoms. Then 3, create that 10-year vision. How do you want that 10-year vision to look like? Why do you want it to be that way? 4, assess the gap. Who are you now? And more importantly, who do you need to become in order to get to that 10-year goal? Then 5, what is the 90-day plan that will take you there, or that at least that will move you closer to that 10-year goal? 6, execute. Execute with full commitment, intention, and focus. And finally 7, extract data. Course correct effectively, discard all distraction, and go all in towards that 90-day goal. If you follow the process, and I always like to do it again in the final week of the year or the first week of the following year, and I tend to do it in the same spot in the mountains, you will get more done in 3 months than most people do in 1 year. And you will get to that 10-year goal way faster than you initially considered. So I hope this was useful. Please let me know in the comments if you have some sort of self-reflection practice at the end of the year, and if you are going to follow this framework. I follow it. I teach others this framework. It just works. It is very simple, but it truly provides life-changing transformation. See you in the next video. And have a fantastic 2023. Let's go.